to McLaughlin-Levrone.
Well, get the watches out, because the only thing left to decide is how fast is the new American record holder going to cover one lap of this track. This race is effectively over.
Butler running 49.9 on her third leg. Nickisha Pryce with the baton for Jamaica. And Femke Bol probably now thinking about silver, because they're not catching Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone as she'll come off the final turn. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone wins a world title individually and gives Team USA the win in 3:16.62.
Championship record. What's Sydney's split? Well, she only needed to go 47.8, but you just saw one of the fastest mile relays ever, despite the conditions. The United States women, this was probably supposed to be a little closer, but after that brilliant second leg by Lynna Irby-Jackson in the 48s, it blew open the race and nobody had a response before anybody else even crossed the line.
The rain was falling, but the United States women were unfazed. On a soaked track inside Tokyo's National Stadium, Team USA produced a masterclass in precision and power to reclaim the women's 4x400-meter world title, storming to 3:16.61 seconds, a championship record and the fifth fastest time in history. With each leg dominated by American excellence Isabella Whittaker, Lynna Irby-Jackson, Aaliyah Butler, and Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone. This was redemption after their 2023 disqualification in Budapest. They didn't just win, they erased doubt, crushed the clock, and reaffirmed their relay dynasty. From the gun, Isabella Whittaker exploded out, finding her rhythm quickly on the drenched track. Her 50.12 opening leg, the fastest of all first-leg runners, gave the U.S. a slim early lead over Jamaica's Dejania Oakley, 50.5. The Netherlands' Evelyn Solberg, 51.56, started conservatively, keeping her team close but cautious. Belgium's Naomi van den Broek, 51.25. And Norway's Henriette Jaeger, 51.26, kept pace, but the U.S. already had clear intent. Once Whittaker handed off, Lynna Irby-Jackson delivered one of the most dominant second legs ever seen in championship history. Her 48.71 split stretched the U.S. lead to over 10 meters by halfway. Jamaica's Stacey Ann Williams, 49.59, battled hard to stay within reach, while the Netherlands' Lieke Klaver, 49.08, powered through to keep the Dutch solidly in third. Belgium's Femke Bol, 49.57, ran brilliantly to maintain striking distance, but Irby-Jackson's blitz changed the tone completely. The U.S. were now running away from the field. With the U.S. flying, Aaliyah Butler stayed smooth and composed. Her 49.96 split maintained the huge advantage and kept the pressure on every chasing nation. Jamaica's Andronette Knight, 50.66, ran solidly but couldn't close the gap, while the Netherlands' Lisanne de Witte, 50.44, fought to keep her team in medal range. Belgium and Poland tried to surge, but were out of touch with the podium battle. Then came the queen, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, the individual 400 meters world champion, took the baton with nearly a full straightaway lead and still ran like she was chasing history. Her 47.82 anchor was pure poetry in motion, extending the gap even further and driving Team USA to 3:16.61, a new championship record. Jamaica's Nickisha Pryce, 48.5, ran courageously to seal silver in 3:19.25, keeping the Netherlands at bay. The Dutch, anchored by Femke Bol, 49.1, after strong legs from Claver and DeWitty, secured bronze in 3:20:18, adding to Bol's remarkable medal haul of the championships. At the line, the United States stormed home to gold in 3:16:61, setting a championship record and reclaiming their world crown in devastating fashion. Jamaica took silver in 3:19:25, led by Nickisha Pryce's scorching anchor, while the Netherlands earned bronze in 3:20:18, with Femke Bol adding another medal to her all-around brilliance. For the Americans, it was more than just victory, it was redemption. Every runner delivered the fastest split of their leg, from Whittaker's powerful start to McLaughlin-Levrone's electrifying finish. 2 years after heartbreak in Budapest, the U.S. returned to the top of the world with authority. In the rain, under the Tokyo lights, they didn't just win, they made history. The queens of the 4x400m are back. What did you think of Team USA's record-breaking performance? And do you think Jamaica and the Netherlands could have put up a better challenge? Could anyone challenge this team in 2027? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more World Championship breakdowns, analysis, and highlights.